Mackey's Motors, back at it in the basement today. It's a little chilly out. I have a Crossfire 150R that I'm chugging away on, and I had found that the steering wheel only goes about 2/3 of the way in one direction and only 1/3 of the way in the other direction. So I was missing about half of my steering. It's a shame because that's pretty much the last piece of getting this thing back together. I do have a spare rack and pinion, but I was really curious as to how this thing works. So I decided I have some tools and some mechanical know-how, so I dug in. Let me show you. First thing I did was pop off this old garbage plastic ring seal, which sits right on the outer edge of the spindle here on the spline shaft. Once I popped that out, just using a very small flathead screwdriver, I had found a snap ring inside, which is an internal snap ring, so you squeeze it together, and that popped out. I found that. So it looked like the bearing was a little toasted. There's got to be a bearing of some kind in there. Sorry for the camera angle. And this was my bearing cap. Definitely not a good sign. Collecting parts here. Oh, it's magnetic. Great. And then I could see a bearing in there, which was filthy. I had tried greasing it out in the garage. I threw some oil and some penetrating oil in it, hoping that it would free up, and it just locks up. I mean, it'll go back and forth. I turn it with vice grips, but it just stops dead. So, next up, I had to drive it out. There is a hole in the backside. So, using one of these awesome impact bits, I can show you how I knocked it out if I can figure out how to hold my phone and do this at the same time. Let's just put it like that. How's that? Get a good shot of the Jeep in the background. Popped it in the back, used it as a punch. If I had a punch set here, I would have done it, but just basically drove the bearing out. Ta-da! There she goes. And there is the pinion gear. And I was like, wow, this thing actually is just a little dirty. Maybe I can clean it up. And then there was that. Come on, focus. Boom. Yep. Ain't fixing this one, fellas. She's toast. But my penetrating oil worked really, really good. The bearing spins now. So, looking inside, oh, there's some teeth and just some awfulness. Let's turn the light on. Oh, look at that shot in there. Ugh. But hey, moves freely now. If any of you gang on my page knows where I can find one of these fancy gears and some seals, hey, I'm all for it. But unfortunately, it looks like this rack is dead until I can find a donor rack. So, Mackey's Motors, that's how you take apart the rack and pinion of a Crossfire 150R or Dune 150 or Punisher 150 or anything that has that center gear, which has the 2 bolts on top and the steering. And this rack would have been mounted right in the center of the buggy. It's not offset like the others. So, there you go. That's what it looks like on the inside. And that's all there is to it. Unless somebody knows how to make a cog. Thanks for checking it out.